His meeting with the Ukrainian president, US President Donald Trump posted on Truth Social and said, and I quote, "I just had a very good and very productive telephone call with President Putin of Russia prior to my meeting at 1 p.m. today with President Zelenskyy of Ukraine." Following his meeting with Zelenskyy, Trump also held a joint address with the Ukrainian president, during which he stated that they were getting very close to reaching an agreement, while also making reference to his phone call with Putin. Let's in fact listen in.
Terrific meeting. We discussed a lot of things. As you know, I had an excellent phone call with President Putin that lasted for over 2 hours. We discussed a lot of points, and I do think we're getting a lot closer, maybe very close. The president and I just spoke to the European leaders. They were President Emmanuel Macron of France, President Alexander Stubb of the Republic of Finland, President Karol Nawrocki of the Republic of Poland, Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Store of the Kingdom of Norway, Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni of the Italian Republic, Prime Minister Keir Starmer of the United Kingdom of Britain and Northern Ireland.
All right, Aditya. So we're now hearing that Trump had also spoken to Russian President Vladimir Putin just before the meeting.
Well, absolutely. Shivani, if you see, Trump has been trying, to bring both the Russian president and the Ukrainian president on table, so that mutually a peace deal is signed and all the war is stopped between the two countries. However, there exists a mistrust between the Russian President Vladimir Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, due to which, this is not happening. And, Trump has been saying that he has ended 8 wars. But, as far as this Russia-Ukraine war is concerned, there is no particular headway that, U.S. President has been able to make, because continuously, whenever the talks happen, subsequently the same day, Russia launches an attack on Ukrainian cities. So indeed, all of the efforts have been going in vain so far. However, it needs to be seen how in the days to come the entire situation pans out. Shivani.
Right, Aditya, please do stay on with us. US President Donald Trump has also spoken on the possibility of a trilateral meeting with President Putin and President Zelenskyy. Trump stated that he can see that happening, while adding that he had held a 2.5-hour phone call with Putin. Let's in fact listen in.
I see that happening, sure, at the right time. I saw a very interesting President Putin today. I mean, he wants to see it happen. He wants to see it. He told me very strongly. I believe him. Don't forget, we went through the Russia hoax together. And he'd call me, I'd call him, I'd say, "Can you believe the stuff that they're making up?" And it turned out we were right. They made it all up. And despite that, we didn't get into wars and we didn't get into problems, but we weren't able to trade very much or any of that, which was a shame, because, a lot of success could have been had by trading with Russia. They have great land, great minerals and other things, and we have things that they want very badly. But the Russia hoax, which was a terrible made-up fictional thing by Crooked Hillary and by Adam Shifty Schiff and bad people, sick people, they made it up. It was all a made-up hoax, but it kept us really from dealing with Russia, kept Russia dealing, from dealing with us. So, but despite that, we got along, and I don't know. I think we're going to get there. I know him very well. I think we're going to get there.
So, Aditya, we're now hearing that Trump is saying that a trilateral meeting between Ukraine, Russia and the US is possible very soon at the right time.
Now it is a sort of a final ultimatum to, both Russia and Ukraine, particularly to Ukraine, because, Russia has been launching several attacks on Ukraine, and now even Trump feels that, his efforts are going in vain, back-to-back phone calls with both the leaders and, back-to-back negotiations, diplomacy, but nothing is working, as far as stopping the Russia-Ukraine war is concerned. So, he is giving, the statements that U.S. President has made, this reflects the fact that, now he is also, trying it, for a last time, whether possibly this war can be stopped. Otherwise, there are lots of people in Ukraine definitely could be killed, by the Russian strikes, and definitely this tit-for-tat retaliation by the Ukrainian side can also continue. So indeed, at this juncture, it is a very tense situation, and it needs to be seen how things unfold in this scenario. Shivani.
Right, Aditya. Stay on with us. Meanwhile, during his joint address with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy, US President Donald Trump has stated that Russia wants Ukraine to succeed and is very generous in his feelings towards Ukraine's succeeding. Let's in fact listen into his statement.
They're going to be helping. Russia's going to be helping. Russia wants to see Ukraine succeed. Once it sounds a little strange, but I was explaining to the president, President Putin was very generous in his feeling toward Ukraine succeeding, including supplying energy, electricity, and other things at very low prices. So a lot of good things came out of that call today. But they were in the works for 2 weeks with Steve and with Jared and Marco and everybody.
So Aditya, we are seeing that this, President Trump is stating that the Russian president wants Ukraine to succeed. On the other hand, we know that the reason why this peace talk is taking so long is because Russia is not negotiating on the territorial claims that Ukraine is in fact, putting forth.
Absolutely, Shivani, Russia has its own set of conditions that it wants, with which it will end this war. And definitely, there are certain conditions to which Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy doesn't agree. So, there is, due to this lack of mistrust, due to this gap of trust between the Ukrainian and the Russian side, this war situation is getting complex, as far as the Russia-Ukraine war is concerned. So, indeed, the situation looks very unlikely, whether this war between Russia and Ukraine stops or not, this needs to be seen. It is a complex situation, and it needs to be seen how things unfold in this scenario. Shivani.
Right, Aditya. Please do stay on with us. Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has also issued a statement during his joint address with President Trump, wherein he stated that he appreciates the progress made by American and Ukrainian teams in the past few weeks. He also agreed with Trump, saying that there has been 90% agreement on the 20-point peace plan, 100% agreement on US-Ukraine security guarantees, and US-Europe-Ukraine security guarantees are almost agreed. Military dimensions are also agreed upon 100%. Let's in fact listen into what he has said.
Maybe you want to say a few words,
Yeah.
and then we'll speak over the next couple of weeks. We'll speak probably quite a bit, but we'll speak tomorrow. Thank you very much. Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
Thank you so much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything. Dear colleagues, first of all, I would like to thank President Trump for a great meeting at this amazing place in his home in Mar-a-Lago. And we had a really great discussions on all the topics, and we appreciate the progress that was made by American and Ukrainian teams in these recent weeks. Special thanks to Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, and thank you to for their engagement and full commitment, and also to our team, and first of all to Rustem Umerov and General Gnatov, and to all our teams. And we discussed all the aspects of the peace framework, which includes, and we have a great achievement.
All right, Aditya. So we heard the Ukrainian president as well talk on the issue, and he is also agreeing with the US president that almost 90% of the agreement seems to have been confirmed and done.
Well, absolutely. This as far as the statement of Volodymyr Zelenskyy is concerned, definitely, it seems, that there is a American pressure over Volodymyr Zelenskyy, and Russia is at the has an upper hand as far as all these peace negotiations are concerned. Because on many instances, we have seen, Trump not very happy with the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy. So now, it needs to be seen from here on how things unfold, how the situation unfolds as far as this entire Russia-Ukraine war is concerned, and definitely whether there could be a a stop in hostilities from both the sides. This is a developing situation, and it needs to be seen how things unfold in this scenario.
All
Shivani.
right. Thank you so much, Aditya, for all those details on those various stories. Shifting focus now, Prime